lot to talk about from this past weekend, from around the club, outside the club, the larger soccer world, and we're going to get to it and cover all of it. Just took a peek outside at Bush Terminal Park, right outside our window, and it's still covered with snow. Thin layer, but we're still a few days away from being able to, fully play outside. Hopefully by this weekend or by this maybe Wednesday night, but by Friday night, we'll be outdoors training and playing. We do have a lot of stuff coming up this next weekend outdoors. So, but back to this prior week, this prior weekend. I'll start with an event on Friday night, just a cool event hosted by Brooklyn FC at Threes Brewing. It's really to kick off their new Brooklyn FC men's team playing in the USL Championship. If you don't know by now, they have the first match on Sunday, March 8th. But it was a cool event, kind of a mix of people from Brooklyn FC, from around New York City soccer, so a lot of the usual familiar, friendly faces. So it was cool to hang out a bit. A few of us stopped over, had a beverage with some of them. And speaking of which, they've a cool little project. They've launched a beer called the Golden Goal. So if you want to check that out, I believe they're going to be selling them at the matches. And obviously at Threes Brewing over in Gowanus in Brooklyn. So cool event on Friday night. Saturday and Sunday, as we previewed, we did have some outdoor stuff canceled because the snow just not melting fast enough. So a few of our men's matches were canceled. A few of our youth matches were canceled. But before we get into the Brooklyn City FC stuff, just to hit on what went on with global football. Start with the Premier League, of course. Liverpool put up a nickel against West Ham, so a big day for them. A lot of the OGs end up bagging a goal, like Van Dijk and whatnot. So big day for them. Man City squeaked by, Arsenal squeaked by, and other than that, no huge news, no huge breaking news. Around domestically in MLS, we had both the Red Bulls and NYCFC played. Both ended up getting 3 points, so congrats to both of them. Cool story developing on the Red Bulls side with their 17-year-old. So it was a 1-0 result against New England, and the goal scored again by Julian Hall, assisted by Adri Mehmedi. Both New York City kids, and both 17 years old. So amazing story developing there, getting a lot of success out of their youngsters, kids that moved up through their second team, which was coached by Michael Bradley last year, I believe. So good example of the model kind of coming to fruition. So big shout to the Red Bulls, and big shout to NYCFC for turning things around and getting the result and the 3 points this weekend. So good day for New York pro soccer. On the women's side, not too much happening as far as the clubs, but the women's national team did earn a 2-0, kind of expected, but always good to get the result against Argentina. So good stuff from the women's national team. Definitely on a roll with Emma Hayes. Got a great thing going with her at the helm. So good, big shout to them. And bringing it back to Brooklyn. So again, on the adult side, nothing happening outdoors. The men's spring openers were canceled. On the youth side, we did have a bunch of teams playing indoor tournaments. We had a few teams playing in Soccer Roof Crown Heights, on Saturday. So that would be our U12 girls, our U12 boys later on in the evening, who ended up, I believe, winning the tournament. So congrats to them and Coach Kishvar. We had our U14, our combo U14, U13 girls split into two teams. I believe one of the teams won their tournament, so congrats to them, and Coach Madison and Coach Letty. And then on Sunday, we had, our U14 boys U12 boys also competed at Soccer Roof on Saturday in 2014 division. On Sunday, we had a few teams out at Soccer Coliseum in Teaneck, New Jersey. So those of you familiar with youth soccer in this region know the venue very well. Top venue to go compete. So our 2016 girls with Coach Allison were out there did very well for their first really tournament at the Soccer Coliseum, which is not an easy place to play if you're young and for the first time. So great job to 2016 girls, who I believe finished third in a tough bracket. And our U12 boys, our 2014 boys, also competing in a very tough bracket later on that day out in Soccer Coliseum with Coach Kishvar. Back home in Brooklyn, we had our 2018-19 girls, so the little ones, with Coach Letty covering for Sophia. I think it's they had an important learning experience. Their second tournament ever as a group, and for some of the girls, their first time really out in the tournament. So they definitely got stronger as the day went along, and a great experience for them. And we're definitely going to be looking to increase their number of competitions as they grow into the club side of soccer. And then later on that day in Sunset Park, we had our two U11 boys teams. And one of them, the U11, which are 2015's asphalt team, won their soccer roof tournament. So congrats to them. Posted some of the pics and video online, and you can look out for some recap youth tournament content tomorrow on our social media. And that pretty much wrapped up the weekend. And last but not least, but as was shown on our weekend preview, we had our 2011 girls in a rare outdoor friendly against DV7, and led by Coach Nadi and the coaching team out there. Excellent youth club and academy they have up there in Queens. And I believe our girls fell 2-1 in the friendly, but great for them to get outside. It was very productive, as reported by Coach Madison, and we always just love going up against DV7. Generally high quality soccer and football. So great job, and thank you again for them hosting and finding a field that wasn't covered in snow. So that pretty much wraps up the weekend. We will still be training indoors this week, possibly sneaking outside later in the week, depending on the snow situation. And then this upcoming weekend, we have a host of outdoor preseason tournaments for many of our older teams, and our younger teams, and anybody else in the club are going to be mobilizing to attend Brooklyn FC matches. I believe the women are playing on March 7th out in Coney Island. And as I mentioned, the men's have their first ever match was at home in Coney Island on March 8th. So we hope to see you guys out there. We will definitely have a big group. Look for us on the sideline, the walkout, or whatever. And until then, we will see you at the end of the week for the weekend preview, and have a great week.